Marija. That's a great one. Um, could you please set it up? Yes. Yeah. So I'm going to share with you the process to stop toxic reactions in 2 easy steps so you can become the parent you want to be. Could you please let me know in the chat what are the qualities of that parent that you want to be? What are the qualities? Otro, por favor. So these are the 2 steps, and then we're going to break it down throughout this class. Step number 1, understand your unique toxic generational pattern so it doesn't affect your parenting today. We are going to learn about the root of our reactivity, and it has to do with our generational pattern. And that's what you are going to be very clear on, what your particular generational pattern is. So from that awareness, you can break your cycle. Raise your hand if you want to be a cycle breaker. Yeah. So that's the benefit of sitting through step number 1. And step number 2 is, now that we have awareness of our pattern, how to start healing these patterns so we become secure parents. And I'm going to give you three steps for this. And that is in section 2 of this class. Loving and respectful. Oh, loving, calm, and regulated. That's great. That's awesome. Otro, por favor. Once you apply step 1, and you integrate step 2 in your family, you'll feel calmer, more in control. You'll feel proud of how you're handling challenging moments. And a little disclaimer, this is not a class to fix kids. This is a parent-centric class. Focus on you, the parent, not the kids. Because we are the responsible of raising our kids. The responsibility of our own reactivity is ours, not our kids. So if you are maybe looking for tips, hacks, and strategies on how to help our kids, we have other classes for that. But this class is parent-centric. Your kids will feel safer once you become a secure parent and more loved, and they will see you as a parent who listens and cares. This is your chance to break the cycle and give the kids, your kids, the love and peace they deserve. Otro, por favor. So this class is for you. Let's be clear about what this class is and what this class is not. If you are a parent or caregiver who wants to have a healthier family dynamic, if you are open to reflect on your own generational pattern from compassion and self-responsibility. So we're going to do a lot of soul searching, for a lack of a better word. If you want to learn more about how your childhood shaped the way you care for yourself and others, and if you want to break free from toxic generational patterns and raise secure kids. So if you want to go through all that, then this class is for you. Otro, por favor. So that disclaimer. This is a class with information. This is not considered parenting coaching or therapy, counseling. This is a class, an informational class. So I want to give that disclaimer. And number 2, we cannot guarantee your results because the responsible of applying what we are going to show you, what I'm going to show you in this class is you. So I cannot control that aspect. So that's the disclaimer that I want to give before we move forward. Otro, por favor. So what to expect in terms of the sections and how things are going to flow. Part number 1 is going to be teaching the 2 steps to break free from toxic reactions. Part number 2, if you need direct support in applying the steps that you're going to learn today, we are going to show you how you can access the personalized support for free. For free. And of course, on that, which is a free call that I'm going to tell you about it at the end. And if you want to continue with us as a client with our coaching services long term, on the call, not on this class, but on the call, we will let you know how that would look like according to your needs. And part number 3, if we have time, we are going to do Q&A. So I'm going to answer some of your questions. Is everything clear? Okay, so let's go. Otro, por favor. Before anything, who am I? Because some of you I know are new to us, are new to me, Marcela Collier, are new to HIC parenting. By the way, if you are very new to us, could you please type in the chat, I'm new? If you've been following us for less than 3 weeks, could you please let us know that's me, I'm new? Okay, Rebecca, you're new? Welcome. Okay, so for the ones who are new, or for the ones who don't know who we are, hello, my name is Marcela Collier. I'm a certified parenting coach and founder of HIC Parenting Education Agency. Yes, we are an agency. We are not Marcela, we are a group of coaches. And my team of coaches and I have served 14,151 clients plus. We made that count last year through our coaching services and products so they can break free from reactivity, bring peace to their parenting, and raise secure children, be secure children for their families. And just a fun fact, most of our clients are neurodivergent families. If you're a neurodivergent family, raise your hand, say me, I'm neurodivergent family. And why? Because that's our bread and butter. Hi, Teresa, that's awesome. Why? Because I'm a neurodivergent family. So I know it from within what it is to raise an autistic son with ADHD, having ADHD and autism myself. And all of our coaches are trained in neurodivergent parenting coaching as well. So yeah, welcome, Shirley. That's great. Okay, otro, por favor. Let me show you a few of our clients. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm going to show you my story and then a few of our clients, and then we're going to start unpacking these processes to stop toxic reactions and become secure parents. So I wasn't always a parenting coach. I wasn't always a parenting coach. 12 years ago, I was raising my children, my son, who is now an adult, from a deep desire of wanting to raise them away from the way I was raised, but I was struggling, you all. Is that you? Like, I had the idea of the parent I wanted to be, but the application of that parent I wanted to be was tough. I didn't know how to be a secure parent. So I was riding at the wave he brought me in. If he was up, I was up with him. If he was down, I was down with him. He called the shots of the mood of the house. And then I decided to do something about it. I accessed personalized coaching and it changed our lives forever. So much that I decided to go back to school. I became a therapeutic care provider. I did that for years. And then I became a certified parenting coach. And then everything else has been history. Currently, he is an adult and I'm raising my 8-year-old, no, 9. They're 9. They're now 9. And now I'm raising my 9-year-old twins. One of them is autistic, ADHD, and the other one is just strong-willed, a strong-willed, spirited child. Okay, so let's move to the next one. But don't take my word for it. We have served so many parents. I want to tell you about a few of them, and then we're going to start breaking down these concepts that took these parents that I'm about to show you from reactive, not knowing what to do, feeling powerless, feeling lost at the end of the rope, to feeling secure in their parenting. For example, Zulay. She is autistic, mom, ADHD, and she is raising an autistic child with ADHD. Rebecca, could you please mute yourself? Thank you. And I just want to tell you her story from her mouth. Let's play her story real quick. She's going to tell us her before and after. What pulled you to say yes to this work, and how do you feel now?
Desperation. I was very desperate for some type of support. Additionally, from being on the spectrum, my husband is in the military, and it's been night and day. Everyone here just made it so simple and so much less scary to do. And it turned my parenting around. A big, big help. I don't know how I would have done it without the group. I don't know how I would have done it without the group. It's been a lifeline for me specifically. And now I'm happy about being a mommy. And I feel like even with all of the issues I have medically, I am the mommy I've always wanted to be.
And that's when I started crying and I couldn't record anymore. By the way, all these stories are, they gave us permission to share with you guys. So Zuley, she went from believing she couldn't be a good mom because she was autistic with so many medical things going on to becoming a secure parent. And this is how she did it. She came to this class, she learned these concepts. She tried to apply on her own for a little bit, but it wasn't kind of working because she needed more nuanced support, considering her diagnosis and her family, etc. She wanted direct guidance. So she enrolled as a coaching client, and that was her at the 10th week mark. She was still she was still in the process. She was not done yet. And what did we do with her in coaching? Basically, helping her integrate and apply the things that she learned in this free class. And if you're like, hey, I need someone to guide me through and hold my hand and show me every turn, I could tell you at the end how we can get you on a free one-on-one assessment session with one of us. Okay, otro por favor.
Thank you.
And like her, so many parents, thousands of testimonials. If you want to go through all of them, just go to our playlist. We have it on TikTok. We have it on the highlights on Instagram. We have a long, long playlist of client success stories and testimonials on our YouTube channel, but I don't have time to show you everybody because we will be here ages. So I just wanted to show you some of them. For example, Valerie, she's an autism mom, and she went from not knowing how to get her son to cooperate to becoming a secure parent. Her son started gravitating towards her, and meltdowns were a thing of the past with just a few weeks of coaching. Or like Miranda, she used to spank her kids, and she's a military mom, parenting solo most of the time, and she stopped spanking in just 4 weeks of coaching. And like them, so many families who have transformed their family dynamic from chaos to peace in HIC parenting. What would it mean to you once you have a peaceful environment at home? What is one thing that you can start doing? Let me know in the chat. What is one thing that you can start doing? Otro, por favor. Once you have a peaceful environment, once you feel secure. Yay, Alexandra. More connection. Yeah, it's possible. Yes. I've seen parents, I've seen clients going from years of power struggles and disconnection and fights and co parenting disagreements to being unified, to being connected, to being peaceful, a peaceful family in just a few weeks. ending all those years, it's just a few weeks with the right roadmap and with the right guidance. Okay, so let's start with the guidance, which is these steps. These steps. Who is ready for that? If yes, say yes. I'm ready. Let's go. Step number one, we are going to understand our unique toxic generational pattern so it doesn't affect our parenting today. For all of you who are here, I want I want to request something from you. I want to ask for a favor. The favor is to be open to challenge your thinking because we come with a certain way of viewing things, and that mindset is set up, was created in childhood. And part of breaking toxic generational patterns is deconstructing that generational thinking and that mindset and start building up a new one. So that's the very first step. As we go through step one, to keep a really open mind, to deconstruct and rebuild a mindset that will serve you as a parent moving forward. Can you do that for me? Can you do that for me, Shirley? Cool. Otro, por favor. So let's start deconstructing this generational pattern. Growing up, I was spanked. If you were spanked, raise your hand in the comments. Were you spanked? I was yelled at, malcriado, which it means spoiled brat, desagradecida. Usted es una desagradecida, Marcela. That's how my mom used to say, which it means ungrateful. Ay, Marcela, es que eres una caprichosa. You're so picky. And yes, because I'm autistic, I'm picky because I have high sensory needs. They didn't know that at the time. I have a question for you guys. Type it in the chat. Carolina, all of it growing up. Okay. What did your parents or caregivers tell you when they were angry? What did they tell you when they were angry? That it was always your fault. You are doing this to me. Okay, so they blamed you for their lack of regulation. I don't care what you want. They dismissed you, spanked or neglected because I'm too emotional. Okay, they gaslighted you, surely. Selfish. They blamed you. That was too emotional. They dismissed you. Shut me out, ignored. Okay. So they stonewalled you. You're stupid. They minimized you, Hannah. How did you feel? How did you feel? Taken to therapy because I was too sensitive. I can't control my emotions. Disappointed. How else did you feel besides disappointed? Please talk to me. Shut down, neglected, small. I relate to that. I relate to that. Not part of the family, not important. Mm. You see, just the comments keep coming and coming. You're not alone. You are not alone. Now let's think about something. Let's keep searching this. Do you remember your parents or caregivers being playful and calm? Do you remember your childhood? Not enough. Hated myself. Not enough. Okay. Not enough. You didn't remember your childhood enough? Not really. Okay. Now, there are so many people here saying they don't remember that much. Playful moments, connected moments. That happens when our brains are in survival mode. We're always scanning for cues of danger, and we miss out on maybe the positive side of things. And it wasn't your fault. it was because it was not balanced. The scary parts of your childhood overpowered maybe the few positive ones. You can change that for your kids. You can. How did that feel to you? Like, I'm talking to the ones who remember a playful, calm parent. I'm just very curious. How did that feel? I just remember my mom always mad, stressed out, but I don't remember much fun. Hmm. I never really had a childhood. I started at 3 years old. No adult protected me. I see. 20. I understand. If you have a playful parent, or if you remember playfulness, calm parent, how did that feel? You always felt like an outcast. Okay. Not a lot of memories of playfulness, of calm, of connection. That's that's big. That's huge. That's huge. Let's keep moving forward. Otro, por favor. So we surveyed them. We surveyed you. We surveyed our followers of what they want in the relationship with their kids. And these were kind of like the common responses: to have a close relationship with their children, to be calmer and not react the way their parents did, to have an open, honest communication. Is that your biggest desire? Is that your biggest desire? Or is there something else? Yeah, okay, we can get there. We can raise children who remember their childhood, and they can recollect their playful moments, their connected moments, their calm moments, their good moments with us. We can do that. But the first step is to be aware of our own generational patterns, what we're bringing to the table. And the second step is what we're going to review a little bit later, which is how to rebuild a new family dynamic based on safety, security, peace, great communication. Okay, so let's keep moving forward. Otro, por favor. Let's start talking about these patterns. This happened to you, or am I the only one? I thought I turned out just fine until I became a parent. I was a kind of like well-rounded adult who did not take things personally a lot of the times, who was able to communicate without yelling, who was able to not drown in overwhelm and guilt and frustration. I was that person, and then I became a mom, and everything started to flare up. It's like if the generational patterns were down on the bottom. Let's just imagine a cup with dirt on the bottom, and that dirt is the emotional wounds and the generational patterns and all the things that we lived in childhood. And then parenting is just that water that comes to stir up that and bring it up to the surface. And then the yelling started to happen. And then the overwhelm and the disconnection, and then the responses I didn't want to give my son started to happen. Why can't they just listen to me? What what is your default reaction when you don't feel heard by your children? What is your default reaction? Let's keep moving forward. Total rage, shut down, I get mad. Anger, get louder. Yeah. Okay. We are going to reveal the why of this. Otro, por favor. To yell or shut down. Yeah. And then the other side of the spectrum, and this is part of reactivity as well is the shutdown. So the shutdown usually happens when we are scared of the reactivity. We don't want to sound like our parents. So we feel so powerless that we shut down. And then we enter in the, why do I even try if they don't listen to me anyway? Or, guys, I don't even know how to help you anymore. You figure it out. Or we just retrieve. And we go to a room and we hide in our room. But you know what? It's not because we know exactly how to regulate our emotions. We are running away from feeling those uncomfortable feelings that we were living when we were next to our kids. And our children see us disconnecting. And our children see us reacting. And because they don't have developed brains, they are not able to connect it with, it's because my mom feels or my dad feels overwhelmed. It's because my parent didn't sleep well enough. Is not be, like they don't connect it with that. They filter everything through this lens of self. And that's what happened to you in childhood. Possibly you were living with parents who were stressed out with work, with their own lives, with their co-parenting dynamic, with many other things. But it was hard for you to see all that because you were a little kid. You were just receiving as a vessel and translating it as, this means I don't matter. This means I'm not loved. That's how kids receive information. So it wasn't your fault. And it wasn't your parents' fault either. And it's not your fault either if you are in a reactive pattern. Let's let's keep digging on this. What's the real cause of all this? Otro, por favor, Fede. So we live in an ambivalent pattern, in a pendulum, 50-50. Sometimes we react and then we move to shut down. There are some people who are reacting more and shutting down less. Some people are shutting down more and reacting less. But it is the same reactive pattern, back and forth, back and forth. Let's move on to the root of this. And then you reflect on the last time that you yell at your kids. You reflect on the last time that you shut down. And then you start making conclusions. I've heard a few like this, all this in coaching with my clients. I react this way because my children won't listen to me, number one. I react this way because I'm too tired of a parent. I'm a tired parent. I didn't sleep last night. I react this way because I don't have enough tools. If my children could just listen to me for once, I would not be reacting as much. If I would have been able to sleep a little longer, I wouldn't react as much. If I just had enough tools or more tools, then I would not react as much. Which one of these do you relate to? Surely, yeah, I'm all three. Okay, I feel like I need more tools. All three, all three. Darcy, Maria, one. Okay, what else? All three, mostly more tools. I want to see more parents. I always see the same parents responding. Hey, the ones who are not responding, respond. All of them. Definitely tired. I'm also a twin mom. How old are your twins, Allison? All of them, always tired. Okay. I'm going to challenge your thinking. And this is, remember, we're going to deconstruct our mindset and build it back up. Blaming outside circumstances to our reactivity, and all of this, all these three are outside circumstances. If my children just listen more, I would not yell. That's outside of me responsibility. If I slept more, if these circumstances were different, then I would not react. We are we are placing the responsibility on an outside force, something outside of us. If I just had some outside tool, then I would not react. Blaming our reactivity to outside circumstances, it's like blaming a leaky roof to the rain. Blaming the rain, saying, you rain, you are the responsible for my leaky roof. Sure, the rain will make obvious a leaky roof, and a lot of rain will make it more obvious. But a leaky roof would not be a problem if the roof would not have cracks. If the roof would be okay, it would be built for that rain. So blaming our reactivity to things outside of us is like blaming a leaky roof on the rain. And then we focus on the rain, or how do I contain the rain? How do I put, if it didn't rain as much, I would not have a leaky roof. Do you see how this sounds? When what's the remedy for that? Let's fix the roof. So whether we have rain or not, it doesn't leak. If my children would just listen to me, I would not react. It's the same thing. If it didn't rain, then I would not have a leaky roof. Let's look at the crack on the roof first. If I just slept more, then I would not react. The same thing. If I just had more tools, the same thing. So our reactivity doesn't come from outside factors. It comes from an inside factor built in childhood. Let's look on that. Let's take a look on that. Because when we are in this frame of mind, which is a very disempowering frame of mind, thinking like my reactions are based on other people or other circumstances, it gives us no power to fix it, to work on it. And then we feel like we are failing. We feel like we feel like we are failing, like we feel like we are a disappointment. We feel like we don't know what we're doing. And then we build all these things in us. I see my children are reacting this way. I do react. Do you see your children reacting the same way you react? I'm curious. I fear my children will be scared of me. I hear that a lot in coaching. How do you feel after you react in a way that goes against your values? How do you feel after you react? Guilt? Okay, absolutely a failure. Disappointed, horrible. So, Emily, if you were to name a feeling for horrible, because horrible is not a feeling, what would it be? Like a terrible mom. Alessandra and everybody, is your inner voice kind or critical most of the time? We all have like a little critic, but is it mostly kind or is it mostly critical? Most of the time, critical, for sure, critical. You see, you're not alone. All 48 of you, critical. Let's let's keep let's keep peeling the onion here. I promise you, we're going somewhere. This is part of understanding our generational pattern. Otro, por favor. Listen, chronic reactivity or shutting down doesn't come from external factors. It comes from subconscious narratives and beliefs we are not even aware of, downloaded to us in childhood. Otro. So, another place where I'm going to challenge you. I feel like I'm failing. I feel like I'm a disappointment. I feel like I'm not doing enough. If you feel like you're not doing enough, raise your hand. That's a very common one. I feel like I don't matter. I feel like nobody listens to me. I feel like I am bad. None of these things, Alessandra, and all of you, none of these things are feelings. Anything that you place after I feel like is not a feeling. Anything that you place after I feel like is a belief. You are believing you are a failure. You are believing you are not good enough. You are believing you don't matter. You are believing nobody listens to you. You are believing you are bad. But this is the thing. These are beliefs. And these beliefs were not created when your children decided to not listen to you. They were not created during your child's meltdown. These beliefs were created in childhood. They were created in childhood. And they live with you. But how come I was this well rounded adult and now I had a kid and then everything? Because our children are our mirrors. Nobody can mirror you as your son or daughter, especially the ones who have their personality, who look like you, who have your needs, who have your diagnosis. I can feel a lot more patient with my non-autistic son than with my autistic son, because when my autistic son is struggling with sensory overwhelm, I am too, because I have his same needs. I have his same diagnosis. So none of this are feelings. They're beliefs, not created with your child's meltdown, but they were created a long time ago in childhood. But what happens? What happens? Somebody is clicking a lot. What happens? Your son is having a meltdown, and then boom, you connect that meltdown as an evidence of that belief that you already have. This meltdown means I'm failing as a mother. Or you call your son once, and it doesn't matter if he was hyper focused or if he has ADHD and he was not even hearing you. Like none of that goes to, I wonder what's happening for them. When we have these beliefs, we connect it right to the belief. Okay, if he doesn't listen to me by the third time, it's because for sure nobody will listen to me. Nobody hears me. I'm invisible. I'm small. I don't matter. And all these beliefs visit us from childhood. Is it making sense? Otro, por favor. Let's go to the core. Where do you create all these beliefs? And this goes for you and your children. But we are talking about you. This is a parent-centric class. So let's talk about you. I feel like I'm failing. I'm not enough. My voice doesn't matter. All that stuff are beliefs that were created in your operational stage of development. And by the way, this is the most academical part of this class. So if you want to take a screenshot or a picture of this, post it on your stories, tag me at High Impact Club, or just keep it in your phone. So what is your concrete operational stage of development? Listen to this. Maybe this is the part where you want to take notes. That would be great too. Before 7 years old, 7 and under, children are in their pre-operational stage of development. What does that mean? They don't place any logic on the things that happen to them. Because they live in their limbic system, which is their emotional brain. So everything, all the information, the interactions with their parents, their interactions with their siblings, their interactions with their teachers, all that information, emotional and social information, is stored up or filtered through their emotional brain. So it's not, for your 7 and under, it's not what you tell them, it's how they felt when you told them what you told them. When you told them what you told, well, you know what I mean. The same for you, 7 and under. So when your parents yelled, spanked, sent you to timeout to think about what you did, took your things, confiscated your things, when they did all those things, you did not place any kind of logic on those things. Everything is, this feels safe, this doesn't feel safe, this feels connected, this doesn't feel connected, this feels scary, this feels okay, this feels safe, secure. So that's how you were filtering things. So what happens? What happens? At 7 years old, from 7 to 8, you enter your concrete operational stage of development. And this is a huge milestone in a parent's character development. Why? Because children, you took all that emotional information in your stored up in your limbic system, and then you transferred it to your new logical centers that start to develop from 7 to 8, and you started to create beliefs around all that emotional information that you gathered up the first 7 years of life. So you took all that, this feels connected, this doesn't feel connected, this feels great, this doesn't feel great. And then you started forming, I am bad, I am good, I matter, I don't matter, I'm enough, I'm not enough, I'm failing, I'm succeeding, I have a voice, I don't have a voice, I'm heard, I'm not heard. You created all those beliefs based on the information of your ages 0 to 7 years old. So do you see why I'm failing as a parent, I'm not good enough as a parent, I don't matter, I'm a bad parent? It has nothing to do with your parenting and a lot to do with your narratives formed in childhood. Can you see this? Just a little break here. If nothing changes in your parenting, if your children keep being parented the same exact way they're parented, what kind of beliefs are they going to form when they're 8? If they're already 8 or older, what beliefs do they have now? Negative self-worth. Their needs don't matter. Tira, so basically, your beliefs of I'm not a good parent or I'm failing as a parent were not created when your child tantrums or doesn't listen to you. They were created in childhood when when your parents created those beliefs in you. But now you're transferring it to your parenting. They don't matter. I'm worried she will believe she's an angry person and can be happy like I did. I see you, Amanda. I see you. We can change that. I've seen it so many times. So many times. And even with parents who already have older kids, 9, 12, 13, etc., we've seen changes. Because you can take a child who already has an established narrative and you can turn it around by showing them a different evidence. I did it with my older son. When he came to my care, he was already 9. And he came believing he was a bad child. And guess what happens when children believe they're bad? They do things to prove it. Because we always look for evidence of the things we already believe about ourselves. Now, when he started believing he was a good child, based on the interactions he had with me, he stopped getting suspended from school. He started getting into the leaderboard at school. And now he's a great adult who is on his way to become a great therapist. And I'm very proud of him. I just don't talk a lot about him in social media because he doesn't want me to. So let's keep moving forward. If you're getting aha moments, like, wow, like this is something I didn't know, this alone made the time worth it to come to this class. Can I know if that's you? Otro, por favor. For the ones who are asking, like, but give me a concrete example. Like, I love examples too. I'm a very visual person. Give me an example and I will learn it. So let me pair it up with an example. So let's just say that this parent grew up believing she's failing. No, she's bad when she has boundaries. Because growing up, every time she tried to stand up for herself, she was shut down as you are too much. You are too picky. You are too dramatic. Shut it down. I don't want to hear you anymore. So she started believing I am bad when I have boundaries. This is a parent. So now this person is a parent who has this belief. She goes with her little girl to the store, and then at the entrance, she tells her girl, "We're just going to grab groceries. We're not gonna take anything else, okay? We're just gonna grab groceries, and that's it, no more." Well, the store run goes by, and then when they're about to check out, the kid wanted a Barbie. And then she wanted a Barbie, and then she wanted a Barbie, and then she started getting agitated, borderline tantrum, yelling. The parent reminded her, "Hey, remember, we're just gonna get groceries." "No, but I want it." And then the parent gives in because she believes that I am bad when I have boundaries. My child is suffering. My child is suffering. I want her to be out of that suffering, or I don't want to hear all this. All those things are excuses, or not excuses. They're justifications of our own limiting beliefs of I'm a bad parent when I have boundaries. And then they leave the store, and then on the way home, they get a call from Papa. "Hey, Marcela. Hey, Isabel. I need you to come here right now because I need you to take my garbage out. I cannot do it." "Oh, Dad, I'm actually running home because I'm a little late to start dinner." "Oh, okay." Don't like they guilt trip you. "Okay, I guess I'm just gonna do it by myself. I know I had a surgery for 3 months ago. I had surgery 3 months ago. Okay, Dad, I'm gonna go." Did she go because she got guilt tripped? Or did she go because she already believes I'm bad when I have boundaries? The second one. Because if she didn't have that belief, even if she would have been guilt tripped, she would have not fallen for that. So she goes to help the dad, and then she comes home, and it is so late that she's rushing. Her daughter is already melting down because she is very hungry and she feels I'm a bad parent. She serves dinner. She's already sweating, overwhelmed, tired of the day. And then at bedtime, she's yelling. And then she comes to HIC parenting and to ask one of our coaches, bedtime is a struggle. How do I get my kid to have an easier bedtime, to cooperate with me a lot easier at bedtime? When the root of everything and the real struggle to fix here was not bedtime. Everything started, not even at the store, everything started with this belief of I'm a bad parent or I'm a bad person when I have boundaries. Otro, por favor. Is it clear? Your beliefs create feelings. Your feelings create your reality. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. The very first and biggest work that we do with our clients in HIC parenting is to get them out of these narratives. Because as long as they keep running with these narratives, they're going to feel like I'm too tired and that's why I react. If they would just listen to me, I would not be reacting. I just need more tools. When they don't need more tools, when they don't need none of that, just to see what's running their life, what belief is running their life, and from there build up a new reality from a brand new belief system. And that's something that we do with clients. Sometimes it takes them a few weeks, sometimes it takes them more, depending on how rooted their narrative is. Imagine how would reality be if you feel capable and secure as a parent? If you were a secure parent, how would morning be with your kids? Hey guys, why are you guys so shy? You guys started talking and then you stopped. Like, talk to me. How would life be once you become and feel in your core that you are a secure parent? More fun and talks with the kids. Joyful, calm, light. Great. This is the start. This is the start. The start is not when outside forces change. The start is when we do the internal work so we can reflect that from within, that peace, that joy, that safety. Otro, por favor. More childlike joy, patience. I would like to understand. Do you relate to this? Because this was me back in the day. You read tips online, you watch the reels, everything makes sense on the screen, but then you apply with your kids and they still screaming and tantruming and it does not work. I've seen so many reels of people saying gentle parenting doesn't work. Is that you? This is what happens. Child-centric tips and strategies and what to do when they're hitting and etc. would not do anything when there is no parent-centric work following, not following it, before that. Imagine a parent who believes I am bad when I have boundaries, trying to learn how to set boundaries with their kids. At some point, they're going to fail. And that's what happened to Naomi. She is one of our coaching clients. What happened to her? She is one of our coaching clients. When she came to HIC parenting, she was drowning in overwhelm, trying to break sibling fights. She is a mom of 3 kids. She actually bought a parent-centric course from somewhere else, and everything felt like a hit or miss, like she couldn't crack the code. Once she did a parent-centric process in HIC parenting to deconstruct her generational pattern and build up a new way of showing up for her kids, that's when things started to change for her. And those child-centric tools that she learned in that course or that she learned in reels and stuff, now she knows what to use and what not to use because she understands herself and her kids to the core. Before she was just throwing arrows and hoping for something to stick. Now she's very intentional because she knows herself and she knows her kids and she knows her patterns. She catches herself in her patterns and is able to change it and reroute fast. And she went from feeling disconnected, abused, power struggles all the time to feeling secure as a parent. This is her story, real quick. Naomi, por favor.
I've been a part of another parenting program, and it was a lot of the words, do this, say this, act this way, and I was getting very frustrated because none of it was working for me. Like, I was really, really trying, and I knew what I wanted, but I had no clue how to get there. And even with the tools that they were giving me, I was just like, I can't. Like, I'm trying to do them, but it's not, like, my children are not responding the way they say the kids will respond. And I don't know, like, how to, like, and it was just a lot of me like, I'm just not doing it right. I'm a terrible mom because they say this works and it's not working. Being able to join this has just been so enlightening for me to be able to understand and just feel the security within myself. That's been the biggest shift, so that I can show up, for them. Being able to learn, and I think the biggest key, and this is what I've told all my friends, go and learn. And so transformational for me. So,
yeah. And how do you feel now?
I feel very, empowered. I think is the biggest.
She felt empowered now when she learned more tools because she already had many. She was a very educated parent already. She didn't need more stuff. What she needed is to gain a full understanding of herself and rewire the way she was coming and showing up for her kids. That's basically the process we did with Naomi. And by the way, she sent us her sister, and she had another great transformation, even going through a very tough divorce. And then yeah. So if tips and strategies online have not worked all the way to break your cycle, it's not your fault. It's like trying to apply tips and strategies without doing parent-centric work. It's like if you tell me, Marcela, be a better dancer, and you don't tell me how I can improve my dancing skills. Doesn't it feel to you that's how it looks like in social media these days? Otro, por favor. So that's why I wanted to bring you this class. So you have a deeper understanding and we have a deeper work on the parent-centric side of things. Teresa, por favor, apaga tu micrófono. So let's move into step number 2. So we already understand our pattern. We know why we react. It's not anything outside of ourselves. It's everything related to the narratives we created in childhood. And from them, we are showing up for our kids. Let's go to step 2. Who's excited about step 2? How to start healing these patterns so we become the secure parents our children need. Otro, por favor. We are going to do an exercise. Okay? We are going to do an exercise. So please close your eyes. If you are driving, close one. No, don't close your eyes if you're driving. But if you're not driving, if you're not doing anything dangerous, just close your eyes. Let's take a deep breath. Let's enter ourselves like go inward. And we are going to place ourselves in childhood. At that moment where those limiting beliefs were created. I am failing. I'm a disappointment. Nobody listens to me. Uh, I need to prove I'm good enough. How old were you? How old were you? Were you 8 years old? 10? How old were you when you started believing those things? Like, if you were to be able to place yourself in a setting, were you at home? Were you at school? Were you in a tia's house? Where were you? What what were you feeling at that moment? What were you feeling when they told you, if you don't meet this expectation, then I don't approve of you? How how did you feel? When they told you you're so picky, you're a malcriada, you're not you're not good enough for this, you're too old for this, you should have known better. How were you feeling? See that child. How her face, how his face is looking like. What were you needing? Needing. That child has a need. What were you needing? If you could tell that younger version of you exactly what you needed to hear to feel safe, what would it be? Everything is gonna be okay. You are loved. You're safe. I believe in you. You're a good kid. You don't have to do anything else to prove you're enough because you are enough. You matter so much. You don't have to try to control the uncontrollable because I got you. You're held. You don't need to figure it out on your own. You don't need to figure it out on your own, Isabel. Your impulse need to control is just a survival response to not being held, to not be dependent emotionally, to having to figure it out on your own. And then right now you go and 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 go until you exhaust yourself. Because in childhood, you learned you needed to just figure it out on your own, or it will be really bad for you. So if you need to give that younger version of yourself something they needed to hear, what would it be? Let's open the eyes. Let's type in the chat. You're not alone. I'm here no matter what. What else? Validation, you matter. You are enough. You're not too sensitive. Your feelings matter. You can take up space. Don't belittle yourself. Speak up. Wow. Shirley, you did it. Thou preach. I have something for you guys. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Vamos a la otra. Your children need the same things you needed growing up. They need the same things you needed. And you know what? They express those needs in the most unlovable way sometimes. They express those needs with tantrums, with yelling, with no, everything is a no, with back talk, with disrespectful words, with hurtful words, and I don't love you, and you're not my mommy, you're not my daddy, I love not anymore. That's when they're telling you, I need you. If they were here, what would you tell them? If your children were here, what would you tell them? Everything is going to be okay. Beautiful. Otro, por favor. I love you and I do anything to help you. Oh. Imagine your son, your daughter is not listening and you respond with that. Imagine your son or daughter is tantruming and you respond with that. Imagine they're dealing with big emotions and you respond with that instead of reactivity. Otro, por favor. So I'm going to share with you the 3 things we work with our coaching clients to change the way they relate to their kids and show up as secure parents. Otro. Growing up, you needed adults who understood your needs beneath your behaviors instead of trying to power over you. These are mindset skills. Mindset skills are the ability of understanding what our children need, what our children feel. What would have meant to you if your parents understood you? Now you can give that to your kids. The way is to develop mindset skills. Otro, por favor. You needed adults who knew how to settle you down when you felt agitated, scared, or angry. And listen, who knew how to settle themselves down when they felt angry, scared, agitated. This is the skill of emotional regulation. And I'm going to give you a hint. We don't react because we're bad parents. We react because we lack emotional regulation skills. Trying to be calm and trying to not get angry is not emotional regulation. That's emotional suppression. Stuffing down, pretend I'm not angry, and then boom, we react. Emotional regulation is understanding what we feel, being able to process it so we leave it in safety so we don't hurt our kids when we're feeling angry. It's not to feel angry, it's to know how to feel it. And number 3, to know how to communicate it safely. That's emotional regulation. And this is a process that we do with our clients. If you want to become a secure parent, just gain emotional regulation skills. Otro, por favor. And the last one is you needed adults who knew how to educate you on social emotional skills to express your needs instead of isolating you, yelling at you, or spanking you. This is positive discipline skills. Don't hit your sister. Share with your sister. Now you're not going to have ice cream because you were disrespectful. All those things are trying to put out fires, trying to stop behavior. Have you ever been on a car with the engine lights going off? They go off, they go off. Would you be able to know how to fix the car or why even the car needs to be fixed by just reacting to the engine lights going off? No, you would need to open the hood, look inside. Okay, so this car needs this and needs that, and then you give it to the car. Don't hit your sister. Don't push your sister again. You're not doing your homework. All those things is reacting to the engine lights without equipping our children with the skills to relate better to sister, with the skills to being able to stay focused during school homework, with the skill of being able to feel angry and still not hit and remain safe. All those are skills that once we develop in our kids, their engine lights would not go off anymore. They still will have little behaviors, but it won't be this uppercase storm. I wonder what's going to happen to my son if she continues hitting this way, or if my daughter continues being this way when she is older. You won't have that fear anymore because you know that you're on track of developing those skills. And that's another skill that we help our clients develop in coaching. Otro, por favor. For example, Roberto. He's a very special story because he used to spank his daughter. He used to believe that was the way. It wasn't that like, oh, I spanked her because I got too angry. He used to believe that was the way. But then one day she looked at him with eyes of terror. She was so scared of him, and he noticed it. He decided to enroll in HIC parenting, learn positive discipline skills to teach his girl better ways of communicating needs and managing behaviors. He decided to gain mindset skills to understand his daughter's needs. He decided to learn emotional regulation skills to not sort to spanking to be able to be a secure parent for her. And this is what he's saying. Roberto.
So before I started the parenting coaching, I spanked my daughter I spanked her twice. I remember one time it broke my heart. And I was like, oh my God, she is scared of me. After that happened, I said, this does not work. And that's when I was like, okay, I saw your videos on Instagram and I was like, I really resonated with your message. So I understood that. And I was like, okay, I need to do better as a parent.
Roberto, how do you feel in your parenting after all the work here in HIC parenting with Holly, with the program?
I'm a different parent. I don't know how that, like I tell that to Elena sometimes. We're sitting down and I'm like, babe, I'm a different parent now. And I'm like, I'm proud of us. I think 2 weeks ago, a week ago, I'm like, babe, I was like, I'm proud of us. I'm like, we're different parents. I was like, if we didn't take the class, we'd be completely different. And this really, affects the trajectory. Like if I didn't do this, where would I be in 20 years? That's what I kept thinking. Where would my relationship with my daughter be in 20 years? And so these little things that I've done with the coaching with HIC, like, I'm like, oh, I'll be friends with my daughter. She's going to love me. She's not going to be scared of me. She's going to come to me with her problems. I love my dad. And like, wow.
I have a question for you before I move into the invitation for the ones who just want more nuanced support and want more direct guidance. We talk to so many parents every single day. I tell Brian, my husband, I talk more to parents than I talk to you. I'm sorry. And there are two kinds of parents that we've seen. Parent number one, what I've seen is the dabbler parent, is the parent who tries to learn from here, from there, tries to put all the pieces together, and then they're always dabbling. And they're getting some results, but they're not having the transformation and the environment, and they're not the secure, connected parents they really want to be. They just stay dabbling. And there are some other parents that they are committed to make a change, and they do it regardless of any excuse. Even if they're tired, even if they're homeschooling and they don't have much time, they make up the time to learn these skills to become a secure parent. What makes you like number two parent? The parent who is a committed, secure parent to make a change. What makes you like parent number two? How can I ask questions? In a little bit. We're going to do a Q&A in a little bit. We have time. Jusra. What What makes you a committed, secure parent? A parent who will make a change? Heal from the past. The idea that my children could want could want to be my friends. I won't give up trying to change for the better. Surely, I know. I know. And you know something, for all 43 of you, the fact that you're here already makes you that parent number two. Because out of all the parents that could be here and need to be here, you were the one who chose to be here. Committed to learn, to make a change, to not give up, to get out of social media, and then let's just focus on a framework. Let's focus on something instead of trying to gather up pieces from many different places and sampling everything. You are here committed. Otro, por favor. Federico. Federico fell asleep. Otro, por favor. I wanna go to the invitation. Quiero ir a la invitación. A la invitación. So on this class, I promised you I was going to give you two things. Number one, I was going to help you unveil your unique generational pattern. And number two, I promise I was going to give you 3 steps towards rewiring this pattern and help you become a secure parent for your kids. I did those 2 things. Now, information rarely creates change. What creates real change in any area of our lives is application. And sometimes, if we've been dabbling and going in circles for way too long, that's the sign that we need help on the application. And that's why there are professionals like us in HIC parenting who've been there, have the roadmap, the skills, and who have helped so many parents like you become secure parents. So if you're ready to take a step towards feeling secure as a parent, breaking those reactive patterns and integrating these 3 skills that will help you have a healthier family dynamic and raise secure children, my invitation is to book a free one-on-one assessment session with one of our advisors in HIC parenting. Now, we have very limited spots because we are a very small team. So we only have 16 spots, if I believe, the last time that Federico told me about. And we want to talk to parents who could see themselves potentially moving forward with parenting coaching. We want to talk to committed parents or not dabblers. So if that is you, go to the QR code right now, scan the QR code, or we have a link in the chat. Go to the link. The first thing that you will see is a questionnaire. Fill up the questions, like answer the questions, because we take those questions and we study them. And then once you're done answering those questions, we will show you our calendar. If you are married, choose a time and a date that works for you and your spouse. If you're not married, you come yourself. Why? Because we assess the entire dynamic. The parenting dynamic is made by you and your spouse. Even if you're parenting solo most of the time, if they're at home, at some point, they're part of it. And children are influenced by both of you. So choose a time and a date that works for you. And this assessment call has 3 goals. Goal number 1. So you are able to see your particular dynamic and what's keeping you in your reactive pattern according to your family's needs. It is more nuanced and personalized than what you saw in this class. This class was the general information. Number 2, so you get clear on the path to help you become a secure parent, considering your particular dynamic, your needs, your children's ages, the entire vibe of your house. And number three, for you to make a decision. If your decision is to apply on your own our particular recommendation, then that's great. Or if your decision is to do it with our help, to help you apply our recommendation, then we will show you how our services work, and then we will enroll you as a coaching client. So this is an evaluation session. It's not a coaching process, because coaching is we already have a plan and we are applying it with you every week. This is an assessment session. Whether yes or no, you become a coaching client, you will live with a lot of nuanced clarity about your particular needs and family dynamic. And whoever is on the call with you, whoever HIC parenting advisor is on the call with you, they are trained professionals, parenting professionals. And they're all amazing, and they're going to take such a good care of you. Okay? So click the link that you see in the chat, fill out the questionnaire, and book your call. Somebody said, hey, can I ask you questions? You can choose either one. Like if I were you, I would just leave my questions for the assessment, because the advisor will have nuanced clarity about your particular needs and dynamic. If you ask me questions right now, I would just give you a general answer, just because I don't know your family dynamic. So you would choose. If I were you, I would do it on the call, so I could get a more particular answer. Okay. So let's go to the Q&A for a little bit, and then you don't have to wait until this session is over. You can book your call right now. How I said, we have very limited spots. We always fill out during these sessions. So if you do it now, it's better than later. So you have your spot saved. If you don't know when your spouse is going to be able to join, just text them right now, and or just take an estimate guess, and then book your call. And if we have to move it to the time that your spouse works, so just let us know and we will move it. The idea is that we have limited spots based on the amount of parents we can help. And once we take the amount of parents we can help, then we will wait to be able to help more. But yeah. So let's start with the Q&A. If you have any question regarding this framework, regarding today's class, what you learn in today's class, you can ask the question right now. So you can either type it in the chat or you can unmute yourself. Federico, por favor, ayuda a que se puedan unmutar. Unmute. Me do in Spanglish. Unmutar. ¿Cómo se dice unmutar en español?
Desmutear.
Desmutear. Sí, okay. Getting fancier. Okay, so you can unmute yourself and ask your question. How I said, because I don't have full context of your family, I'm going to give you a general answer. The best bet for you is just to leave your nuanced questions for the assessment session. How do I differentiate between being just angry or having postpartum rage? I'm so confused if it's my personality or a real issue. Okay, so this would be something that we'll reveal on the call, but basically is related to if I were not postpartum, if I just had my kids outside of postpartum, would I still be reacting to their no's, to their not listening, to their disrespectful words, to their taking so long to go to bed? Or would I be a secure parent regardless? How do you set boundaries for yourself without feeling guilty? How can you reassure yourself, justify the boundaries are needed, and you shouldn't feel guilty about it? Okay, again, that's something that I encourage you to review that with your advisor on the assessment session, because I can see why there are narratives behind that question that you may be having. But to answer your question based on my experience, how do you set boundaries? How do I set boundaries for myself without feeling guilty? We feel guilty when we think we're doing something wrong. And if you believe boundaries are wrong, you're going to feel guilty. If you believe it's wrong to have boundaries, you're going to feel guilty. And boundaries come regardless of the other person's reaction. If my mom yells at me and I say, I'm not willing to be treated this way, I'm going to hang up, and she gets mad, it's her problem. Because her reaction has nothing to do with my boundary, but a lot to do with the interpretation she gave of my boundary based on her own belief system and experiences. But how I said, I want to really know what's the narrative behind this question. I'm sure it's a belief, and how we can rewire it so you can show up as a secure parent with healthy boundaries to your kids. And we can do so in the assessment session. In the assessment session, again, the 3 goals are for you to know the root of your reactivity. You're going to learn what kind of reactive parent you are. There are three types of reactivity. You are going to learn how strong this reactivity is in your family. You are going to learn how it's influencing the entire dynamic and how to get out of it. We will give you a recommendation, and if you want to keep applying it with us in coaching, we will let you know how our services work, and you will decide if you want to be part of our coaching clients or not on the call. When I was disciplined as a child, my parents wanted to make sure I felt bad, shame. I now see that is what I want my children to feel when they are being disciplined. What steps can I take to refrain from shaming my children? So that's skill number 3, which is the skill of positive discipline. Punishment is having children suffer for something they did. It's very focused on the past. So if you did this, then you need to feel shameful about it. You need to feel bad about it. You need to feel it. That's punishment. And it just creates limiting beliefs in kids. When they are 7 to 8 years old, they enter their operational stage and they start creating limiting beliefs about self. We don't want that. Positive discipline is not focused on the past, it's focused on the future. The future is, I saw sibling conflict. What's the skill that I need to develop so next time they want the same toy, they have conflict resolution skills to be able to solve that conflict peacefully. So it is not about shutting down the conflict. It's about equipping children with the skills to handle the conflict. Did you see the difference? And this is something that we will equip you if you do become a coaching client. And we will show you as well in the assessment session how we would do it with your particular circumstance, story, family dynamic, the ages of your kids. So my recommendation is to scan the QR code or go to the link in the chat and book your free one-on-one assessment session, and you will learn so much. So do you see the difference? When you are developing skills, there is no way that you're shaming your kids, teaching them conflict resolution, because you're not focused on the past, you're focused on the future. And that's positive discipline. Another question before we end this session. My husband and I were raised in a very different ways. He's American, I'm South American. Yo también. And my husband is American, I'm South American. Okay. Besides my beliefs, we crashed a lot in our parenting ways. I wanted to learn more. I'm sure he would be okay to join, but it is possible to work with just one parent working on themselves. We've done it. We've done it and it is possible. But this is the thing. Even if one parent does the work, let's just say you join us as a coaching client. Even if one parent does the work, both parents, I recommend to be on the assessment session. So when you are applying what you're learning, when we are applying with you these skills at home, your co-parent is not sabotaging it because he will know your plan. He will know what you are doing, even if they're not doing it themselves. For example, Bo, she was on this boat. She did it herself. She's a military wife. She's Latina. Her husband is American, and they were not on the same page either at first. He was kind of like, I will support you, but I won't do it with you. And then I'm gonna show you Bo, so she can tell you from her own mouth how her process went. Let's go, Federico. Let's go back to the Bo story. No, ese no. Esta. Okay. Before you started parenting with understanding, before you enrolled, how was your family dynamic with your son, your husband's parenting?
Prior to finding parenting with understanding, we're just going off videos, off of articles we found and techniques we saw on social media platforms, and it wasn't coming together. It just wasn't. We would see improvements in some places, and then we'd come to a whole different scenario and we wouldn't know what to do. But I did it first, and then him seeing how I approach situations with our son is what really made him come on board fully. Because he noticed that when my son would like gravitate towards me, would listen to what I was saying, as opposed to when my husband would come into the room, now their dynamic between them is completely changed.
By the way, I talked to Bo yesterday. She's in the hospital. Let's praise for her full and short recovery. She's gonna be good and well in the name of Jesus. But that's basically the answer. The reason why spouses don't get on board is because they see us being permissive, trying to do quote unquote gentle parenting. They don't see us secure. They see us, and I remember when I was in that position as well. My husband used to say, "But our son doesn't listen to you either. So how can I trust you?" But once clients start to show their spouses that their children gravitate towards them a lot easier and better without having to yell and spank and shut down and all those things, that's when the spouses get really interested and they usually end the process in HIC parenting together. So that's what I would say. Show your spouse results and they will be a lot more likely to follow. Okay? Yeah. Now you might say, Marcela, let's go back. Vamos otra vez al QR code. Now you might say, Marcela, I'm just such a busy parent. I think that my reactivity is because I have way too many kids. If I didn't have all these kids, I would not be as reactive. Or if I were not as busy, I would not be as reactive. It's again blaming our reactivity to outside circumstances. Marcela, but I don't have time for coaching, for applying these skills, for doing the work. Like I'm already overwhelmed. Is that you? Let me share with you what most of our clients say. And through the story of Mickey. Mickey is a homeschooling mama. She has ADHD. So her Her ability to organize tasks and to have tight routines is not really there. Her routine was all over the place. Homeschooling mom, routine all over the place, running a home business, and she was drowning in power struggles with her two kids. One of them is neurodivergent as well. And she used to blame her reactivity to, it's because I'm neurodivergent, it's because my lack of routine. If I had a better routine, it would not be this way. Or it's because I'm too busy. If I were not that busy, then I would not react this way. And then she became to coaching with us, and she realized something. She realized that she was spending her time anyway. Now she's just choosing to spend her time learning skills that will help her have an easier time with her kids. So, as a parent, we spend our time with our kids regardless. We either spend it in power struggles and fights and 2-hour bedtimes, or we spend it on developing skills that will make all those things a lot easier. A lack of routine is not the source, or the source is not what causes reactivity. That's just a symptom. It's like blaming, it's like blaming the fever. The fever is the symptom. The lack of routine is the symptom. And the fact that we are having such a long bedtime is the symptom. It's not the source of reactivity. Marcus, he was one of our clients. He did with us 14 weeks. When he came to HIC parenting, ADHD as well. His daughter is ADHD, 2-hour bedtimes that always ended up in him yelling at the daughter. Once he learned emotional regulation skills, his daughter stopped expecting him to yell at the end of the night. Her nervous system started to relax, and bedtime went from 2 hours to 20 minutes because everybody's nervous system was a lot calmer. So the source and the root of reactivity for Marcus was not the 2-hour bedtime. It was the reactivity itself was what was making bedtime such a long process, because the daughter was expecting it. She was connecting bedtime with stress, and he was expecting it too. So we either spend the time with that, or we spend the time developing skills. What happened to Mickey? That was a long time ago. That was in 2020 when she came to HIC parenting. What happened? When she gained emotional regulation skills to be safe, even in times of stress, when she learned mind-size skills to be able to respond to her kids from the understanding of their needs, and when she gained positive discipline skills to develop skills instead of shutting down behavior, she stopped chasing her children around and having so many power struggles. She started gaining time back to herself, and that gave her time to build her business. I talked to her spouse a few weeks ago, and they're doing amazing. So great that now he's working for her. And then he told me it was because our parenting got together. We were able to find the time to develop our business. Otherwise, we would still be drowning in power struggles. We would still be drowning in trying to chase kids around all day long and not do anything else with our lives. That was their story. What would it mean to you once it doesn't take so long and so much energy to do anything with your kids? That's the power of gaining these skills. Okay, so I have a gift for you, all you guys who are with me to the end. Again, this is, and before we go there, take a screenshot or a picture of the QR code right now. So you can save it on your phone, and if you were not able to find a spot, Federico, is there todavía hay puestos?
Yes,
How many? How many spots?
that they
Okay. So if for some reason you were not able to, okay. Federico, I can see your screen. Puedo ver tu screen, Federico. Nos sacaste de la presentación.
hay 12.
12, only 12. Okay. Oof. We're about to fill up. So there are only 12 spots. You can go right now, secure your spot so it's not taken or so it's not in a weird time that you cannot have it. But if for some reason you cannot book right now, take a screenshot or save the link that is in the chat, save it on your phone so you can book it later if there are still spots. If there are not available spots, we will show you our waiting list and you will enter one. My encouragement is to enter that waiting list if you don't see a spot so we can call you in the order that of the waiting list. Okay, so you still attended either this week or some other time. Okay? So let's go to the gift I have for you guys. The gift. For all you guys who came with me to the very end, I have a gift for you. This is the Coping Strategies Guide. It's one of our best sellers. And it is a guide, a written guide to give your kids coping strategies or ways to manage their emotions differently. So they don't have to soar to the big aggression when they feel big things. I wanted to give this to you guys because I know this was a parent-centric class and we didn't talk about what to do with the kids. So this is my way of giving you something that will help you with the kids. So to claim this gift, all you have to do is take a screenshot of this as well. So you have these instructions. Email info@hicparenting.com. Number 2, give us a positive review about this masterclass. This is something that I would love just to give us how it could help you in your parenting moving forward. Not so much, hey, the class was great. What is my coping strategies? You know what I mean? Just let us know how it could help you. And we will reply back with info to access your coping strategies guide. Okay? So take a screenshot of this and make sure that you do it today because this live attendee bonus expires today. Okay. I have one last question for the ones who did not book an assessment session yet, who did not go to the link yet. What is stopping you from doing so? What is stopping you from accessing nuanced support instead of just being with this general class? Planning to book an assessment shortly. Okay, Amanda. I hope you find a slot. My recommendation is to do it now. And if you, for some reason, you cannot, I mean, make sure that you attend. But if for some weird reason you cannot, just let us know and we'll move you. My son is 14 months, so I feel like I'm not eligible. You're not eligible. We have coaching clients who are parents of babies. And this is the reason why, Tira. The best timing to become a secure parent is before you become a parent. The second best timing is now, especially while your child is 14 months old, because the older they get, the more established the dynamics will be. Imagine you're going to be farther ahead than most parents if you know how to emotional regulation skills, mindset skills to understand your son's needs, and positive discipline skills. So when you are in it, 14 months, he's going to be 2 years old in just a few months. You will start with a great foundation out the get-go. I have parents of 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds who told me, I wish I would have done this sooner. I wish. Because the work would have not been as hard as it is right now. And if you have older kids, it is for you too. I've seen parents of 19-year-olds, 19. I've seen parents of 21-year-olds who changed their family, their dynamic with their older kids with parenting coaching. I want to be able to apply on my own first. Yeah, you can apply on your own first. The difference between us learning to fly a plane or on our own and learning to fly a plane with professional guidance is the risk and the timing it would take us. So you could get there, you could become a secure parent on your own. How long will it take you? I don't know. It might take you 6 months, it might take you a year, it might take you 3 years. The only thing that you would lose here is time, because in HIC parenting, we help parents get there faster, a lot faster. In just a few weeks, I've seen parents ending years of struggle in just a few weeks. So if for you it's important to start showing up as a secure parent and to get there a lot faster so your children see you as a secure parent faster instead of later, then my recommendation is to book your assessment session. If you're like, hey, no, I can't wait. If time passes and I continue exactly the same and I don't move the needle, it's okay. I'm already feeling sick. I'm already a secure parent. I'm already raising my kids how I want to raise them. Go ahead. Yeah, you can continue parenting how you're parenting. The assessment session is for parents who know they need a change, but just need help on doing it faster. May we know the pricing of the one-on-one sessions. The assessment session is free. And the pricing of coaching depends. It depends on your needs. It depends of how rooted your dynamic is or your reactive pattern is, and how long it would take us for you to gain these 3 skills to become a secure parent. And the level of support as well, because we have different levels of support depending on your particular circumstance, right? Not the same process we would do with a parent who's been reacting to their kids for 10 years versus a parent who, like Tira, who has a 14-month-old and is just wanting to build a foundation. Not the same process. Okay? It's like if you call the dentist, hey, my teeth hurt. How much is it? What are they going to tell you? Come here. Let me see what you need, how much dental work you require, and then we will tell you. On the assessment, you will know. You will know if we can help you, and if we do, how it would look like. Okay? You have to step out. Okay, that's great. Federico, ¿cómo vamos ahí?
We have 10 spots left.
So we're booked out?
No, not yet.
¿Cuánto dijiste?
10.
Ah, okay. Yeah, we still have 10. I have a question for you guys. What did you get out of this time? Let's go back to what we learned about the pattern that you revealed today, about what you thought was the root of it, and what you learned today about the root of your pattern. Moving forward, how do you think this class could help you? Do you offer Spanish coaching? Yes, we do have Latino coaches in our team, and I'm one of the coaches. If you come as a coaching client, I'm part of your coaching team alongside other amazing coaches. Yes, it makes sense. We need it right. Da, da, da. No more questions. Hey guys, let's open the cameras for a little bit. Let's open the camera so I can see who is here. Teresa, Twine, Cynthia, Tira. Hi, Cheerly. Hi. You were very engaged today. Did you book your assessment session? Yay! It has the same impact, the family interaction, as the parents with a kid. I'm scared that the interaction with family affects them. At the same time, I feel like, okay, this situation is helping us to help them learn skills to the future, but at the same point, I don't want them to hurt my kid. Lupita, what are you talking about? Your relatives? Thank you, Marcela, for everything. Very much appreciate. Thank you so much, Carolina. Lupita? Yes. Okay. Okay, it reminds me one of our coaching clients. What was her name? What was her name? Yeah, Zaneb. Okay, let me see if I can find Zaneb's story, because Zaneb, when she enrolled in HIC parenting, she was very scared of not having results just because she didn't have a supportive family. And she's a single mom living with her parents. So they had a big influence in the kids. And then let me see if I can find her story real quick. It will help you, Lupita, with your question. So basically, what she said is that now that she's a secure parent, it doesn't matter what they what they think and what they do anymore, because she knows how to address situations with the kid and her parent. Let me see. Oh yeah, single mom knows what to do with unsupportive. Let me see.
For going in, it's all over the place. I thought I had enough knowledge to, to continue parenting and be okay with it, but in actuality, I didn't have the resources like I do now. That feels really good because I was not confident then. I was always like power under, power over. And I wasn't able to recognize when I started to dysregulate, and I didn't know my triggers. I didn't know what my values were. So now going forward, feel confident, and I had a template to go by, like the belt template.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question, because I remember that you live with extended family. Yeah. Who are not really supportive of your parenting style. Right. How is it now? Like for you, because they're gonna believe what they're gonna believe, but for you, how is it now? So before I was always on edge, thinking, what are they thinking? And it will make me react in a way that I don't want to react towards my daughter. But now it's more like, with Collier, I was able to come up with daughter mode also, because mostly my mom is more around. So my go-to word was being mom mode when I'm with Dalia. And then, because I had a hard time with my mom, we're like, okay, we have to go into daughter mode too. So that really helped in trying to regulate myself with all these external triggers besides just my little daughter. Okay. And how do you feel about that? How do I feel about that? Great. I feel like I'm a mom who's capable. Oh. Really. I feel like a super mom being able to separate the external noises and quiet them down while I'm parenting my little cutie. Wow. Wow. You're able to how do I say that in English? You're able to, you make the separation between I am working with my daughter versus, yes, you're not absorbing their judgments because you feel capable as a mom. Is that what it is? Yes, absolutely. It's like noise, background noise, but it was really loud. Now it's quiet. Whoa. Yeah, that's incredible.
So, and that's basically, Lupita, the process that Zainab lived. You will have judgmental relatives. She still has judgmental relatives and she lives with them, but she's not absorbing their judgments because now she believes she's a secure parent and she has the skills to be a secure parent. Before, she was not feeling secure in her parenting, doubting her decisions. So their judgments really were loud in her head, and it affected the way she showed up for her daughter. Now that she is secure, she doesn't even care about what they think because she knows exactly how to show up for her daughter. So yeah, so that's basically what I seen in Zainab and all the other clients who enroll in HIC parenting who did not have supported relatives. Yeah, and you can get there too, Shirley. Again, so we have still a few spots. You can book right now, or you can scan the QR code later on and then book. Hopefully, you have a spot. And I want to tell you thank you so much for coming to this class and for giving yourself the opportunity to learn a new framework, a framework that is going to serve you not just for the now, but is going to have the potential to change the blueprint of the future with your kids. What you did today, and if you do decide to come on board as a coaching client, this work that you did today and the work that you will do with us is a long-term work that will influence the way that you relate to your children, not just for the now, but for years to come. I'm so happy that you said yes to this process, to this class, and thank you for allowing me to breathe life onto you and your parenting today. Okay, I'll see you on the assessment session. And then remember that it only takes understanding of yourself to the core and of your children's needs to raise secure children. You are amazing parents. Ciao, Alessandra, Lupita. Ciao, everybody. Ciao. Ciao, Federico.